Hodder and Caz find themselves in a studio basement apartment recording their fourth podcast about Star Wars. However, it's not really about Star Wars. It's about Star Wars video games. This is episode 4, A New Hope for Podcasts. Pika Pika!
We will come to your earth and steal all your silverware.
Implore. I'm gonna implore you guys.
In a world where two ordinary gamers team up to fight the forces of boredom, this is their podcast, and this is their story.
What's up, people? I'm Hodder.
I'm Caz.
And welcome to the fourth official episode of Two Guys in a Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You already know who it is.
Yep.
How's it going, man?
It's going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we feeling good? We doing good, ready for this podcast today?
Feeling good. Ready for this podcast today.
Are you just going to keep saying what I say?
I'm just going to keep saying what you're saying.
Right on. So, as you guys heard, we're very excited for this episode here today because The Last Jedi is actually coming out in a couple days from when this is posted.
Yeah.
And that's really exciting. Even though...
Maybe it'll be good.
Yeah?
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping it's good, too.
I'm hoping there's really good lightsaber battles in this one.
I'm hoping there is, too.
Yeah.
I have high expectations. I mean, truth be told, I'm not seeing it this week.
Oh.
That
sucks.
I'm
I'm probably not seeing it this week either, to be honest. I'm going to try, but I'm not going to see it alone, because if you go see Star Wars alone, then you're all like, oh my gosh, this movie was... It had... Oh, you guys haven't seen it yet, and I don't want
you
to
need to
spoil
talk
it
to
for
people.
you.
Yeah,
and then you're just like, well, the good news is Kylo Ren's dead.
Yeah, it's... Well, the thing is with me is whenever I see... whenever I've seen any of the new Star Wars, like, for example, Rogue One, I literally watched 2 months ago for the first time.
Oh, really?
And everyone was like, why did it take you so long?
Yeah.
I'm like, because I wanted to make sure, first off, everyone had seen it. Mm-hmm. And I was waiting to watch it with someone. And it just never happened. So I was fine, just like, screw it, I'm going to sit down and watch it. It was on Netflix, it was easy,
Good
and
call.
it was amazing. But, so I'm definitely going to see it in theaters.
Yeah, IMAX.
Yeah,
3D.
for sure.
You
I'm
have
definitely
to
going to.
go see 3D
I'm just going to
IMAX.
kind of let it. When I go to the movies, I like to be comfortable and chill and not have a bunch of idiots around me talking
Sounds
about
like a good
plot
idea.
points.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll just go see it. We'll go see it
Yeah.
together.
That's fine.
You give me my
We can
date.
just wait a week and everything, and just go see it in IMAX 3D.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. See, I don't like seeing movies in 3D though.
Well, too bad. You're gonna have to see this one in 3D because I don't know. Maybe they do an IMAX without 3D. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but we have to see it in the biggest theater possible with the best
Oh, I agree.
sound system possible.
And I need a full recliner.
But okay, why don't you like going and seeing it on the first day though? I mean, if you go and see it on the first day, do you know that people actually cheer when the Star Wars scene comes on? It's amazing.
I know that, and I totally appreciate that, and I love that.
It's such a good feeling being in a theater with all these people who just appreciate something as much as you, and everyone in there is we're like a family now. We are blood bonded here.
See, and I appreciate that, but truth be told, on the launch day, I there's just no way I can go. I literally have to work.
No, you call in sick. Cough. Oh.
Cough. Hey, I
Is
can't.
this to do with Star Wars, TJ? What's Star Wars? I never heard of a Star Wars before.
Cough. Well, no, what I would do is I'd have you on the other line coughing for me. I'm like, oh, I'm really sick.
No, here's my doctor. And then they'd page in, and I do like Cameron does from Ferris Bueller's Show. Now, where did you get off telling my son TJ he can't go stay home from work and not go see Star Wars with me? It's working. She's totally by it. Zach, is that you?
Click. Where'd you get those candy bars? No, but I definitely think we should totally go see it. We really should. Because
Okay.
Sam will come see it with me, but
she won't appreciate
she's
it.
not a big Star Wars fan.
I get it.
So
Okay, so we can get a couple guys together. Because Justin's like, oh, I've never even seen The Force Awakens. I've never seen any Star Wars. I'm like, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go home, you're going to go on Netflix, and you're going to search The Force Awakens. You're going to watch it, and then at least you'll have enough information to go off on the next movie. but you still won't understand what's going on to the full extent. But at least you will understand it enough.
You've got to go back and watch all of the movies.
Well, you just need to watch episode 4, 5, 6, and 7. You don't need to watch the first 3. Those 3 don't really apply to anything anymore.
No, I know, but I kind of hate that they've done that in a way because like I'm someone who I actually do like the prequels. Not as much as I used to. I used to like defend them with like my life. Now I'm just kind of like, eh.
That was an uphill battle.
Yeah,
that ended.
It's so, and there's a couple people out there in the world that I know agree with me as to what we do love about the prequels, because it's, to me, that's how Star Wars always should have looked. As far as like, 4, 5, and 6, obviously they were amazing for their time as far as special effects. They were groundbreaking, amazing, and still to this day, a lot of those special effects, like some of them do still hold up. But with 1, 2, and 3, mainly 2 and 3. They had the full like digital effects and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's little things like that. And like, I mean, just episode 2 alone, the Jedi battles, all of the Jedi battles that happens. I mean, come on.
That's all they're good for, though. That's like if the best Jedi battle that you ever have had in the history of Jedi battles isn't the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight, because that one was just stupid, because it's just like, I have the high ground, and you're just like,
you
okay.
underestimate my power.
And then he's just like, give up, Anakin. I'm on a hill and you're not. This has nothing to do with Jedi or Force or anything. And he's just like, I'll cut your legs off because I have the high ground. And you're just like, that's great. But I will say my favorite Jedi battle, and it never seems to have been topped yet. It came close with Rey and Kylo. Their fight was pretty good, but it wasn't like, it was emotional. It wasn't clean. It wasn't like an actual battle of the will.
Well, that's what I loved about it, is it because she's not a Jedi.
No, and he's not a Sith. They're just literally 2 lightsaber wielding goons who just like barely know how to use the Force, right?
And well, I wouldn't say Kylo barely knows how to use the Force. He's pretty powerful.
Dude, she kicked Kylo's ass. Like,
yes, no,
and she didn't even know what the Force was. She was just like,
that was my only problem I had. Like, I understand that she's super powerful, and that's why in The Last Jedi, Luke's apparently so afraid of her because Kylo was that way, but then he lost his way, so now he's not as powerful as he could be if he stuck with the Jedi. But like I appreciate what that fight was.
Oh, because and that fight actually, there's a moment in that fight where you actually get to see the Force. Yeah, and they've never ever been able to pull off what the Force is. Everyone's just like, oh, it's just psychic powers. Woo, give me my lightsaber. No, it's like she is so angry in that fight with him, and their anger going at each other is not helping her win. And then he's pinned her down, and as he's pinned her down, she closes her eyes and she just takes a deep breath, and there's just a moment of silence, and all of a sudden she breaks it. Boom, and she wins the fight because she's using the Force. She's in tune with it. She figures it out. Yeah, and it's so good. But that Jedi fight was good. I shouldn't even say Jedi fight. Lightsaber battle was great. But my favorite one, it'll never be topped, and it's Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah,
is honestly the best lightsaber battle because it takes 2 Jedis to take on the Sith Lord, and it kind of gives you a perspective of what Jedis actually are like. For the first time, because you don't really get to see Jedis. Like Luke Skywalker shows you kind of what it is in Return of the Jedi. Yeah,
but he's a pussy. So
no, he's not a pussy. He's a different kind of Jedi.
Lost their shit
he's
on me.
He's a different kind of Jedi because he's not actually trained by the Jedi Council. He is his own Jedi, so he comes back, and that's why he can pull himself back from the dark side, which Anakin can do as well. So I'm wondering if Rey is in some relation to that. Like, not that she's related to them, but if she can balance herself between both of them.
Well, number one thing is she's too old to train as a Jedi.
Yeah.
She's number one, she's too old.
So was Luke.
Yeah. She's too emotional.
So was Luke.
People know.
Luke was on I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. But all the things that Luke was and all the things that went wrong with Kylo, Rey has those qualities. And that's what everyone's... The number one thing is, from what it looks like from the trailers, is basically everyone's like, oh, Luke's going to turn evil.
No, Luke's
and I'm like,
die.
No, he's not. But I definitely think Luke is... I don't even know where we're going with this right now, but I'm enjoying this conversation. We're going to keep going.
Okay.
I definitely do think that he is going to either die or something major is going to happen to him, because I know that from a little bit of reading I've done, Mark Hamill wasn't happy with the direction of Luke's character in the movie.
No.
To the point where he kind of fought it, and then he was like, all right, I'll do what you want, basically.
Yeah.
It's my job. And that kind of sucks for me, because I'm like, yo, like, are they going to make Luke just this total, like, wimpy old man who then dies? Because that's going to, like, I don't think so, but that's kind of almost what it appears like they're going to do for me. But seeing how powerful Rey is and how she's emotional, she's attached, she has attachment, all this stuff that leads to the dark side. So he's just like, yo, now I know why all these Jedi were, single and they were taken from their families at a young age and didn't grow attachment and all this shit. Even though that's bullshit, because Obi-Wan Kenobi had so much goddamn attachment, and he was one of the best Jedi in the entire world, if not the best Jedi.
He was a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And he survived longer than all the other Jedis did
Yeah,
after
exactly.
those movies. But yeah, well, what I think is we don't look at the titles of the movies like until you get a little older, and you're like, because when I was a kid, I was just like, oh yeah, like these are just cool titles of movies, like A New Hope and like Empire Strikes Back and then The Return of the Jedi. When I thought The Return of the Jedi, I was always like, oh, okay, like the Jedi are back. No, it was literally like Luke has made the Jedi return. Like he is the returning Jedi. Finally, like they have so for those past 3 movies, there were no Jedi.
Now he's
Luke is
back.
the first Jedi that has been appeared. And I was like, yeah, sweet. Okay, once I understood that title, that's cool. So then you start reading into the new titles, like, what does The Force Awakens mean? Like, has she fully awakened the Force? Or is this just, like, I kind of, like, question myself on that title. But then when they released the title The Last Jedi, I think lots of people were thinking, oh, there's only going to be one more Jedi left. But Jedi is plural.
It
Just
can
so
be
you know.
plural, yes.
And you could say The Last of the Jedi, but The Last Jedi is just smooth. It rolls off the tongue. But I don't think it means that the Jedi are going to die. I think there's going to be a new form of Force coming through that's not like Jedi type. It's going to be balanced kind of between the light and the dark.
I feel like that's where they're going to go with it as well. Like they're going to not have Sith and Jedi, even though I think that is preposterous, and I will never agree with that. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because like Luke's going to be like the light side and dark side of the Force, like blah, blah, blah. And I feel like they're going to be like, why does there need to be a light and dark side? Why can't there just be a middle ground where everyone can be happy and get along and everything's cool and you can fight evil?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a lot of speculation on this has almost turned into a movie podcast, which I enjoy. But we definitely are going to have to see The Last Jedi.
Yes.
Because I think there is so much speculation. And I mean, I am a big I literally have a Star Wars calendar.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. You do.
That is true. I am a big Star Wars fan. But getting off of that, what are you playing this week, my man? What have you been rocking this week for games?
Nothing.
Nothing. You haven't been playing any games this week?
No games.
No games as he slowly slides his 3DS away.
Just Pokemon.
Just Pokemon?
Yeah.
That's literally nothing else?
No.
Little Timbits? You haven't played no more Minecraft?
Nah.
No more snooty
I haven't
French
had
people?
time. Too busy.
Yeah.
Too busy and tired. I can't even keep my eyes open most of the time, so I just play Pokemon when I can.
Yeah. We're both shift workers, so
Yeah.
we and you've been working like mornings too.
I've
so
been
that's-
working for 6 days straight almost, so.
Yeah, and then on your day off, we're recording a podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
Which just is how it has to go. I am actually playing in lieu of it being Star Wars week, kind of here on Two Guys in a Game. I actually busted out a couple of older games. Number one being Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
Okay.
Which I feel you may or may not hear on this list, possibly later. Who knows? Foreshadowing. And then I've also been rocking Rogue Leader 2.
Okay.
Obviously, which is a game we've heard about on this podcast before. I love that game. I've also been rocking the first Rogue Squadron on the N64. And then I've also been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront, the first one on the PS4.
Nice.
Because I don't have the second one yet. I know everyone's like, oh, you need to get the second one, man. It's really good. Blah,
Yeah, you
blah,
need to
blah.
get the second one, man. It's really good. Blah, blah, blah.
It's really good. Blah, 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 blah. Like now that like all like the really, 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 really good super hardcore players are off of online Battlefront, I've started getting better.
Oh.
Because like I would suck. I was like ranked 20, and like my kill to death ratio was horrible. And I never did well in any games because I would just like I'm like, all right, I'm getting my groove, and then I'd just be like massacre.
And Darth Vader just shows up and goes, ha, bye.
Yeah, but like not even that, just people who just they're like ranked like 50 and 60, and they have all this stuff unlocked, and you know I get shot in the head from across the map, and I'm like, what just happened? And then I look at their gun, and they're using like a friggin' like a scatter gun, and I'm like, how did you even do that? And like people just like appear out of nowhere, and just all these really hardcore good players who play the game all the time. And then here comes TJ, who like literally plays a game once in a blue moon. But now that all those players have kind of moved on,
You came out of your hole and you're like,
Yeah.
are they gone? The king!
I'm better than most of these people now.
Pew, pew. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, kill death ratio going up. And all these kids are just like, I just got this game because it was in a 99-cent spot.
Pretty much, yeah. That's all who's like everyone who I'm playing with now are like ranked like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, I am powerful. But then every once in a while, I'll play a game with someone who's like still ranked like 60 or like
Who hasn't
or
bought
50.
Battlefront 2 yet.
And I'm just like, oh shit. I was playing the other night with someone. Hey, this is a quick funny story. And I had my headset on, which I rarely do when I play online now. And I was literally like the highest ranked person on my team for a game of Blast. And I'm running in. I was doing pretty good. I think I died twice, and I had like 17, 18, almost 20 kills.
Oh, okay.
And it was getting near the end of the game. We were ahead by 20, like by I think 15, 20 kills. And like someone else on my team had the headset, and they're like, "Oh, dude, like this is awesome, yeah, oh, kicking ass." And then like a player joins the game, and he's like ranked like 50, and he comes in and just massacres us, and everyone's like, and the dude was yelling at me. He's like, "Dude, you're the best person on our team. Why aren't you kicking this guy's ass?" And I'm just like, I'm not strong enough to defeat this individual. I'm not strong enough. I can't defeat him. And then the guy gets Darth Vader.
Of
just
course.
to screw with me.
Of course.
And the only move he used to kill me was force choke.
Well, that's probably the right way to do it, though, if you're Darth Vader.
Because like I would like run to him, and I set all these traps, and I had an infantry turret, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill this Darth Vader. I was convinced. And this dude would just stand there and take a couple hits, and he just force choked me. Like it was like he was just taunting me. And I was
He
like,
just knew. He's like, I am your father. And you're like, no.
Who's your daddy?
And then you run upstairs and it's your dad. And you're just like, what the hell, dad? And you're like, yeah, so.
That's funny on like several different levels. Because my father has never played a video game his entire life. So
Not that you know of.
I shouldn't say that. He's maybe played a couple, but no. Next thing I know, I go upstairs, my dad's on a headset, like just poding noobs online.
Oh, God.
I got Battlefront 2. I go to his shop. He has like a little gaming corner. That'd be so funny. But yeah, so that's what we're playing this week. We want to thank everybody for their support on last week's episode of the podcast. We're actually doing we had two episodes in a row in a week here, so that's very exciting.
Yep.
Like we said, we wanted to kind of jump on this Star Wars thing here. But last week we talked about Fallout New Vegas.
Yes, we did.
And we had some people hit us up saying that they enjoyed our points and that. So thank you very much to those individuals who did that.
Yes,
I think that was a lot of fun, and it was fun hearing your side of things compared to how I do things.
Yep.
And also how
It's good because in a zombie apocalypse, I know that you'll be my melee guy and I'll be my sharpshooter kind of guy with the anti-material rifle, right? Like,
well, I'll be the assault rifle guy.
No, we already signed the contracts for
all right.
people in the zombie apocalypse. I'm pretty sure the assault rifle guy is going to be Justin. You know,
I feel
shout
like
out to Stick Aldred.
yeah, shout out to Stick. I feel like he would be like the explosives guy / like
He'd be the crossbow guy.
Machine
He's
gun.
like Daryl. He's
not like Daryl.
Yeah, he's got the.
He's
look.
the guy who's gonna die eventually. Let's be honest. Sorry, buddy. I love you, but
Okay,
I feel like
that's true.
I
But he
feel
would
like
agree with you on that one.
yeah, he's like
I feel
I'd
like
probably die.
Izzy would be one of the guys who would die eventually. You know, he'd be like Glenn from Walking Dead. Oh, spoiler alert! Oh, sorry. If you.
I
didn't
feel like
know
at
that.
this point, if
you don't know
that,
about dead
I don't even
characters.
watch Walking Dead, and I know that.
Izzy would just be like that pretty boy who gets the girl, and then he'd be
pretty
all
boy.
like, "Yo, let's go get some tacos one day," and I'd be like, "Izzy, don't!" And he'd be like eaten by a zombie while he's eating a taco. He'd be like, "Tell my wife this burrito was delicious."
Just eating his face, and he's still eating.
And then
It's
I'll
like eating his leg. He's still eating the taco.
And then I'll go back and I'll just be like, "He didn't make it." And then this girl will be like, "Who didn't make it?" And I'll be like, "Who are you?" And she'll be like, "I don't know. Who are you?" And I'll be like, "Wait a minute. Did Izzy even have a wife?" No, he didn't. Oh.
He was full of shit the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Yeah.
But
Continue
anyway,
with your thing. Keep going
anyway,
off topic. Tangents.
Tangents. Segway City, bitch. But yeah, definitely want to thank everybody for that. And I don't remember where I was going with that. Is what it is. But I actually have a question here from one of our regular listeners and buddy. And there's a reason why Caz is making that sound. But this is actually a question from our buddy Josh from Still Loading Podcast. Who I've been kind of chatting with a
What's
little bit on
his
social
podcast
media.
called?
Still Loading.
Okay, I'll wait.
And it's loaded.
So what's it called?
Still loading.
Okay, I'll wait. TJ doesn't like me
Still
right
loading.
now. He doesn't like me right now.
It's that Who's on First Base, but with a podcast name. And I love that name. I think it's hilarious because like it can be taken that way, like where it's kind of funny. But anyway, I'll get to shout outs later. But he hit me up and on Twitter and he asked me and you a question essentially. But I run the Twitter, so and I didn't have an answer for him. As Caz does the eyebrows. I don't have an answer for him really, so I wanted to ask you, as you are like the resident expert on most things.
Okay.
I'm just along for the ride and to run the board.
Yeah, I'm a real gaming expert over here.
Pretty much. I'm literally the only reason I'm here is to press record and make sure the levels aren't horrible. And I can't even do that half the time. So,
Okay, what's the question? Stop feeling guilty. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. It's not an attractive quality. Go.
It's not an attractive quality.
Got to keep them on track, folks. Go.
Absolutely.
Okay, go.
I'm trying. What is your overall opinion on Breath of the Wild?
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just kind of you had to give a general consensus.
General consensus. That's a good question, actually. I thought it was going to be like related to the Fallout, but I like this question. Okay, I'm excited now because we're probably not going to do a Star Wars podcast because I'm going to talk about Breath of the Wild for 40 minutes. No, I'm just joking. It's amazing. Like, I love it. It's not conventional as a Zelda game, but it doesn't have to be. It feels really great that you get to just do whatever you want. You get to enjoy yourself. The quests are great. The weaponry is fun. All of like the Zelda lore makes it just an entertaining game. And sorry, I was trying to think of a different word there, but overall, it is a great Zelda game. It's so different from anything that you will ever play in the sense that it just gives you that full feel that you are free in a Zelda game. You are getting to just go your own way for once.
Really
Nothing
open
is in
world.
order. You know, you don't have to follow like, oh, this temple, this temple, this temple. You have to go here. You got to go get the Master Sword at a certain point. No, you can literally just do anything. There's no true direction, and all the mechanics of the game at first for me were a bit rough. I didn't enjoy them at first, but then they grew on me, and I learned how to adapt to it, which is what that game is all about, is just adapting to a different Zelda. So that is how I feel about Breath of the Wild.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure he will enjoy that answer. Because I was kind of like, yeah, Kaz said it was cool. He's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. Like I didn't really know what to say. I'm like, I guess it's okay.
That was a lame answer. I apologize for his lame. Like, yo, Kaz says it was cool, I guess. Whatever.
Kaz said it was okay.
Not really a gamer.
I only play games that are like 25 years old.
Don't worry, I'm gonna let him borrow Breath of the Wild. He's gonna play that.
Yay. And then we'll talk about it for like 20 minutes.
I just have to go out and buy a Nintendo Switch and Breath of the Wild, so I still have Breath of the Wild. So
You must have a copy of Breath of the Wild on your person at all times.
yeah, well, I have almost all the amiibos for it. Oh.
Do you actually?
Yeah, well, my brother bought me one for Christmas, and I saw it in the bag, and then I'm like, oh, what's this? I saw the amiibo box. I'm just like, oh, what's this? And my mom's like, hey, get out of that bag. That's not for you to look in. I'm like, too late. Haha, I know what I'm getting for Christmas. She's like, you just spoiled Christmas for yourself. I'm like, no, I didn't. I know.
I don't even care.
I don't even care. I know I'll get this amiibo.
I don't care.
So, yeah.
Well, right on. Well, we're gonna roll into our actual topic here for today on the show. As every single week here on Two Guys Game, we always have a topic to talk about, even if sometimes it takes us 20 minutes to get to that topic. We're still gonna get to it at some point.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try, and as you guys heard in the in our fun little intro there, with that the epic voice guy did. I still don't know who that is. He's just some epic voice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
He's just some guy. I don't know. You keep bringing these epic voice things to me, and I'm always like, oh, this is great, man. Who's the guy who does this? And he's just like, I don't know.
All right. What's the first game on the list?
So we have 10 games here that we've chosen as just a basic top 10. Right away, there's a couple games that Kaz has played a lot and he knows about, but for the most part,
There's literally a couple.
yeah,
Like,
for the
there's two.
most part, this is I'm kind of more the Star Wars gaming guy.
I'm sorry, I just never played Star Wars. I'm not a good person.
I am not a good person.
I only played some Star Wars games.
It's okay. We still love you, Kaz.
Okay.
Okay. So at our number 10 spot, we have Republic Commando. Now, what Republic Commando is. What?
Nothing.
What is so funny?
Just nothing. You just said commando. I just think it's funny. I just thought of a Jedi going commando in the Republic. He's just walking around. He's just like, you know.
It's not a trooper or anything. It's literally like a Jedi going commando in the Republic. He's in a meeting in the Senate. He's just like,
and then all of a sudden he's like, oh crap, I need underwear, and that's the whole mission.
welcome to Republic Commando. Fine, Qui-Gon Jinn, some underwear. That's actually really funny.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a meme. Anyway, so what Republic Commando is? It's kind of one of those hidden gem games. Excuse me. What it is, it's basically like a tactical first-person shooter.
Okay.
You have your squad of guys. It's kind of in the sense of like a Rainbow Six tactical shooter.
Okay, yep.
But you're literally Republic Commandos, which are like the clone troopers.
Okay.
You have one gun that has a bunch of different settings on it. So there's like a sniper mode.
So it's like that pen that has the 4 pen colors on it?
Yeah, kind of the same principle,
Okay.
but it's like weapons.
But it's like a pen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And then like
Pen
as
is
you're
mightier than the sword.
it really is.
And the gun, I guess.
And the voice is mightier than the podcast is mightier than the video.
Cough. You're losing them. Cough.
Cough. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So Republic Commando, it's kind of a basic story. The story is nothing special.
Okay.
But as far as the mechanics of the game, basically it's Rainbow Six meets like Call of Duty, but it's Star Wars.
Okay.
So that's really cool. It's an amazing game. Having the tactical aspect to everything you do. It's not a game you can just run and gun and jump into a situation because you will die very quickly.
So you got to be like, move out, go over
Exactly,
here.
yeah.
All right, yeah, you go over there. All right, now you two shoot each other, but we're on the same team. Just do it. I'm in charge. Do it. And that is how Caz did not win the game.
Well, the funny thing is like they're clone troopers, right?
Yeah.
So they will listen to you no matter what. So if you literally tell the one guy,
Go eat a burrito.
He'll go eat a burrito.
But there's no burritos in
You're on
Star
a burrito
Wars.
click today, aren't you?
I want a taco
Yeah.
so bad, but I don't want to drive all the way to Oshawa for a taco. But that's besides the point.
That is beside the point. We're gonna have another episode. Episode 5, Kaz gets a taco.
A new hope for a Taco Bell to be
No, it's gonna be the
closer
Taco
by.
Strikes Back.
I guess I could go to Extreme Burrito, but it's not the same.
It's not the same. Anyway, but yeah, it's a really great game. Tactical shooter. If you guys have never heard it, I definitely implore you to check it out because it is a really, really fun game. Just having that, and you can literally like if you have one of your guys, like everyone has their different kind of skill set. You have your like explosives guy, your sharpshooter, all that kind of
Your
thing.
medic.
Yeah, but if you say to your medic guy, "Hey, run into that building where there's 1,000 battle droids and try and take them on," he will do it. He'll be like, "Are you
All
sure,
right.
boss?"
He's like, here we go. Takes his first aid kit out. Dun, 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 dun. He comes back out. He's covered in like oil and fluid. He's like, I did it. And you're just like, crap. I thought that would kill
I thought that would kill you. No.
All right, what's your next game?
So the next game we have at number 9 here is a really fun game again that a lot of people aren't aware of just because of its age, but that is Bounty Hunter.
Ooh,
and what it is
Bounty Hunter.
It is a game is a kind of a fully unique story starring Jango Fett, who you guys may know as Boba Fett's father.
Who you may know as... I don't know where it was going. I was trying to think of...
Who you may know as basically Jango Fett was Boba Fett's father. He was in episode 2. Mm-hmm. He's a badass bounty hunter.
He got his head
silver
cut
armor.
off, and he's a loser.
Yeah, but before that happened, before he messed with Mace Windu, which is just something you don't do unless you're Anakin Skywalker.
You can mess with Mace Windu.
You mess with Samuel L. Jackson.
You're bald. I messed with you.
Then he just chokes you out and throws you through a window.
Worth it.
Worth it just to say he's bald. But what Bounty Hunter is you are literally just Jango Fett, and the story is great. You have a bunch of different contracts you fulfill. You're literally a bounty hunter. But what's cool about it is the mechanics are extremely fluid. Your shooting is extremely fluid. You literally feel like you're Jango Fett.
Can you fly?
Absolutely. You can literally fly pretty much whenever you want. Not like it's up or down or side to side. It's not like you fly around like Iron Man or anything.
Or like Diddy Kong?
Yeah, it's not like that.
Too bad.
It's like literally side to side, up
They
and
should
down.
actually make a game called Bounty Hunter Diddy Kong, because I think...
That could be cool. Just Diddy. It's Diddy Kong, but he's like in like a helmet and stuff. And
He's got his like little helmet on, like the Boba Fett chicken from Family Guy, where the chicken was Boba Fett. They should just do that with Diddy.
The chicken's Boba Fett. But yeah, it's a really cool game. You have different ways you can take down your contracts as well, obviously. So like instead of just like there are some contracts where you'll get more money if they're alive than dead. So you can like use your tow cable and like capture him. You can like put them to sleep, which is so because when they're running away from you, you always have like a bunch of goons you have to get through. But like once you kill all the goons, the guy will start running.
Oh god!
And if you have the tow cable thing and your jetpack's at full capacity, you can like just chase the guy really slowly. It's like, come on, don't make me do this.
Come on, do something.
And like you can like stun people, which is really fun too because you shoot them, they go.
Do you just drag them along?
Yeah,
they just go
you can
all
drag
like
them.
ragdoll.
You can drag them. Not quite to that extent.
Oh, that'd be great.
Not like in what game? What game can you do that? There's a couple.
There's one game where in Spider-Man 2 where you web anybody, they just go ragdoll when you pull.
Yes,
them.
yeah.
It's hilarious.
It's not quite to that extent, but like when you tow cable them, it goes around them and they go and they just fall, and it's so satisfying. But the best part about that is you get the contract. It's like, oh, captured, and then you just leave them there. Like nothing happens. You just leave them,
and
it's
just
like
make the money and you go.
Yeah. So it's like you don't have to, and then like obviously there's a bunch of side characters from the movie. There's a new unique character that's kind of like I almost said Boba Fett, kind of like Django's handler, which is really cool. And it's a really great fun game. The story is really intense and awesome. It kind of shows how they convinced Jango Fett to do the clones, how they convinced him to be the one that they mauled the clones after. So that's really cool. He ends up fighting a Sith Lord, which is really intense.
Yikes.
It gets really hard really quick. But definitely a very enjoyable game. Sorry?
You beaten this game?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
It's one I haven't played in a while, but it's definitely one that is always on my list.
Cool
Every once
beans.
in a while, I'll see it go on sale online, and I keep meaning to buy it.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good game. But that is the number 9 spot. So at number 8, we have a game that Caz actually knows quite well, and that is Battlefront 2, the original one.
Yes. The original one. I have fond memories of this game. This was in the era before online gaming. Well, okay, I shouldn't say it was. You could do online gaming.
You could, yeah.
But this was in the era where nobody knew how to do online gaming. And it was just one of those games where it was so much fun to just goof around with your friends in battle mode. So we'd always do that. After school, we'd all get together and all of us would just take turns. 2v2 or 1v1, sorry, with like computer players, and we just run around the map shooting at each other until all of a sudden it's just like, do you want to be Yoda? And I'm like, yeah, I want to be Yoda.
Obviously, I want to be Yoda.
So I become Yoda, and I'm running around as Yoda, just flipping around like, why, yeah, why, like how Yoda does, and you know how he's like all like a ninja and
Episode
stuff.
2, yeah,
He just
literally
like
becomes
does
a ninja.
crazy like parkour tricks and everything, and then but then we'd also take it to the next level where we just put on Jedi battles, like special character battles. So you're literally, every time you spawn, you're a different character. So we would always just be like, just run at each other with lightsabers. Or if you're Boba Fett, you just turn your flamethrower on.
Just put
Chewie.
them on fire.
Pew, pew, pew. Everybody's just being ridiculous, and just got to that point. But yeah, it was really fun. I really liked the story for it. It was overall a really interesting way to put like how these like battles are going down. Is what I would say. Like, like this is what the Clone Wars is about. This is what the Empire is about. You're just a stormtrooper, or you're like a rebel, or whatever you are, and you're always fighting, or you're like a droid. And they had all these great little concepts for maps, and it's really what inspired what the new Battlefronts are today. Battlefront 2 for me inspired them, like to do what they're doing.
Oh, for sure. They perfected, because the original Battlefront for PS4. It's good. Like, I still play it and enjoy it, but there was a lot missing from it compared to Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and Battlefront 2 is just like, it's smooth. There's no issues with anything, and it's just a fun game. And honestly, I bet if the online capabilities were a little bit more up to date, then that game would have rocked it. Like, there would have been no question as to like, and I'm pretty sure it was only third person shooter at the time, right?
From what I can recall, yes.
They've changed it since then. I know you can go between them, but yeah, the original Battlefront 2 was third person, but it was done flawlessly. Like, it wasn't where you're like, you have struggles on certain third person shooters where they like the crosshairs don't add up. No, like It was easy to shoot, easy to use system. It was fun playing as stormtroopers, all that good stuff.
Kind of like in Battlefront when you play as a hero, especially like I love playing as Dengar. He's like my favorite because I don't know why I hate being all the rebels.
Yeah.
All the Alliance, I hate them. But when I'm Dengar, when I play online as Dengar, people are always like, "Oh, it's Dengar. He sucks," and I just wreck everything in my path because people don't realize it. But friggin', I'm gonna go off this for a second. But friggin' Dengar, his personality trait, as you kill people, he can take more damage. So if you keep killing someone every, I think, minute or 30 seconds, which I always do, because his gun is amazing, you basically can't die.
Yeah.
And if you pick up hero health upgrades, I will literally play like on my own against like 10 people and I'll do okay. Just strictly because I'll keep getting the health upgrades and I'll to make sure I kill someone at least every minute. And I'll be rank 3 as like, I think it's on the game, it's called Bodyguard.
Okay.
So it's like basically you soak up damage.
That's awesome.
And he just laughs the whole time as you're shooting him. He's like, he's just like, oh, that didn't even scratch me. And he's taking everything out. And like some of his special moves are kind of weird to use.
Okay.
But once you do, it's kind of like Bosk,
Okay.
where like he has some really cool special moves, but he is a very hard character to be. But once you figure Dengar out and kind of what he's all about, he's so fun to be.
Yeah,
You just run and hit people with your gun and they go flying. It's so fun. But yeah, Battlefront 2 was definitely a really cool game. It's something I also have a lot of fun memories with playing, and just that being able to be all these different heroes.
Yeah,
who doesn't want
like
to
the
do
best
that?
part, yeah.
Okay, guys, so we're going to take a quick second to give a much needed shout out to our good friend, Mr. Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. Whether you guys need t-shirts, logos, business cards, phone manipulation, custom art, anything like that, Jason is your guy.
You've seen our logo. You've seen how awesome it is. Hit him up today by going to www.jaybird.digitalarts.com. That is JAYBIRD digitalarts.com. Go there right now.
Right now, guys, just pause the podcast. Go
Jaybird
do it.
Digital Arts.
Digital Arts. So the next one that we're going to talk about here is another one that Caz actually has. He said he has a funny story with it. So I'm very excited to hear this.
Well, it ties in with the fact that it's Star Wars week, but it's also Christmas coming up.
Yes.
So probably, let's see, how old would I have been? Maybe seven years ago? Probably 8. I don't know. I had a PSP.
Yes.
Yeah, we remember what those terrible systems were.
Oh, man.
They were actually pretty good for what they were. But
They were, yeah.
They just, Anyways, so I had a PSP, and it was awesome. Like, I loved it. And so one day, we had figured out in our family, we had figured out how to mod the PSP so you could just download games right to the memory card. And so it was Christmas Eve, and my uncle comes over, and all my cousins had PSPs, and they all knew how to mod stuff out and, like, everything, right? And so he comes over and he goes, we just got like all these games, and my one cousin is playing Star Wars Force Unleashed on the PSP. And I'm like,
Which is number 7 spot, by the way. I forgot to say that.
yeah. And I'm just like, oh, whoa. I'm like, this is really cool. My uncle goes, well, if you have a computer, I have the chip. I can load it on for you right now. And I'm just like, oh, sweet. Yeah, let's do it. So he loads it for me. And so all Christmas Eve dinner, I'm just sitting there playing Force Unleashed, and I'm getting through it.
awesome.
Like I'm just ripping through this game, right? And so then my mom and dad, they're all like, we're still all young kids. They're like, okay, go to bed. Santa's coming. And I'm like, all right, cool. Go to bed with my PSP, plug my headphones in. Still going. I'm up till like 5 a.m, literally, until everyone in my house wakes up, because I was too excited to sleep on top of the fact that I have this new game.
Yeah.
And this was the first game where I like picked it up. I'm like, you get to be a Jedi, and it's awesome. And I'm just like, oh.
Even though technically you're a Sith.
Well, you're both. You're
Yeah,
a balance.
you're
a balance.
in the beginning of your Sith.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So the game, it was just like, it was so good, and I literally beat the game in one night, and it was just like such a fun experience. And then like I played it on the PSP, so you have to realize the versions differed, right? Graphic wise,
for sure.
story wise, to a point. So later on I did play it on the Xbox 360, and holy crap, totally different game. Like just as good. Not too different, but to the point where you're like, they added so much more content to the actual full console ones. And like the crazy stuff that just happens in this game is you start off as like Darth Vader's apprentice right off the bat. That's the coolest scenario. So whoever came into this game was like, yeah, Darth Vader's gonna have an apprentice. And they're like, okay. So you start off, your name is Starkiller.
Which is a wicked name. And fun fact, some people don't know, Starkiller was actually originally going to be the name of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Luke Starkiller.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, fun fact. Anyways, so you start off and you're doing all this bidding for the Empire. You're going and killing a bunch of innocent Jedis. You're hunting down. This is basically right after episode 3. It's in between episode 3 and 4. And you're hunting down the last of the Jedi, getting rid of them. And you're just this sick, twisted Sith. Like, you're just but he's so crazy the way he does things. Like, he holds his lightsaber just in the most unique way. He holds it like an assassin, and he's got all these crazy moves, and he knows how to be like a Sith, and you're just like, yes, you actually feel like evil.
He's super powerful.
Yeah, and he's really strong with the Force. Like, he really has this potential. Anyways, you get kind of to a halfway point in the game, and you end up realizing that you've been doing everything wrong. You've been doing the bidding for like the Empire or the Emperor, and you don't want to do it anymore, and you're finding out like all this extra stuff that's like tied in with it. Mm-hmm. So Starkiller kind of switches his mode, and he goes kind of to the light side. So he's kind of balancing it now. And this is actually like the first time where we've actually got to see that balance. And I don't remember the name for it, where you've got like, I feel like there's a name for it out where you have somebody who is in between both sides.
Yeah, there's a name for it.
And Starkiller is that. But he ends up going and he starts fighting the Empire to take the Empire down, and it gets intense. Like, he starts fighting Sith Lords, and just like he's taking them all down. And then all of a sudden, he goes up, and this one point, he ends up getting onto like the Death Star that's being constructed. And he's up there, and there's Star Destroyers, and he's trying to take down the Death Star. And then all of a sudden, you get this prompt to use the Force to pull down Star Destroyers onto the Death Star. And so he's standing there, he's like, and he's just struggling, and all of a sudden, he just starts pulling the Star Destroyer down. He's that powerful. And he ends up just destroying it. He just smashes it right into the Death Star. And you're just like, holy crap. Like, he is probably the strongest Force user in the galaxy. Like, I don't even think Darth Vader could pull down a Star Destroyer if he wanted to. And it's like, it's just one of those things where you're like, they usually have to put limits on how powerful a Jedi is. So he is probably one of the strongest Jedi in the galaxy.
Well, that's it. Like, that's the thing, is because he was a Sith Lord first and wasn't taught those restraints, it makes him a better Jedi.
Yeah. And so he ends up doing that, and you get some cool cameos from like certain characters, but nothing like crazy. Like, they don't really touch base on, like, obviously Luke and Leia aren't in the game because they're still probably kids and growing up.
Leia's actually in the game for like 30 seconds.
Is she?
Yeah. When they're having their little meeting with all the rebellion people.
Oh, okay.
She's not technically in the game, but she's there as like a hologram.
She's like, hi, I'm here.
But she's literally a kid.
Bye. And she just disappears.
Proxy, cut transmission.
Some other cool things about the game were like lightsaber customization. You could find lightsaber crystals as you played through the game. Like, you go to different planets and you'd find these ones. So you could literally like have any color lightsaber. Like, there was no limit to coloring. Like, if you wanted a purple lightsaber, boom, orange lightsaber, yellow lightsaber, white lightsaber. Like, I'm not even kidding you. The white lightsaber was like, when I heard the name white lightsaber, I was just like, holy crap, like, that is the coolest name. And it is literally the coolest looking lightsaber because it just is a pure white light coming out as a sword. And then you can get the other end of the spectrum, like the black lightsaber.
Which is really cool too.
Which is just like, oh my gosh, like, you can't even imagine
if you're the full on Sith assassin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
The black lightsaber. Yeah. And
like
it shows you all the stains and everything when you hover over.
Yeah.
Because it's a black, get it? Black light.
Black light.
Yeah. Anyways, that's Force Unleashed.
Why is Darth Vader's room? Oh my god!
Gosh, it's like a Jackson Pollock painting. Oh, Vader, what the hell?
his little bubble that he sleeps in when he takes his mask off. He just open it up and it's just oh my god.
He comes in. Hey, don't tell anyone about this. Yeah, so that's Force Unleashed. And now I'm just gonna sit back and let TJ take us for a ride.
Well, that's like, it's like when I told him, like, hey man, like, I got this idea for this pod. It's like, oh, that's cool. I think I only know like 2 games on the list, and I'm like, but still, it's fun. You're such a professional, and you're so good at this now that you can just like literally chime in whenever you want. It's good.
Boobies, no, Chris, boobies.
Oopsie poopsie. So anyway, the next up on our list here at number 6. We have a purely nostalgia game, and this is one that I can guarantee a lot of people listening probably have not heard of, and that is Jedi Power Battles for the PS1. And basically what this is, it's kind of like a hack and slash game. You can play as a bunch of different Jedi. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon Jinn, Plo Koon, Audi Rai. Can't remember her name anymore.
Jar Jar Binks.
Actually, funny story. You can unlock him.
Oh God.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? He has like a martial arts
The
style
rating
that he
for this
does.
game just went down.
Yeah, it's a very old school hack and slash game.
So he has a martial arts style.
Yeah, he like.
So
kicks
what does
people.
he do? Does he go Misa, Husa, Jar
Well,
Jar?
no, he just
Binksa?
basically kicks and punches people.
Does he
and
sound like
jumps.
that though? Does he go?
No.
Oh, that's no fun.
Yeah,
They should have at least added that for fun. Like,
Misa, kick you in face.
oh, you know.
He does all these stuff, but it's actually a really fun game. Just hacking and slashing at everybody. It is a really hard game, because you literally
I
like
like hard games.
hard games. No, puberty monster. It's not that kind of hard. Sorry. That's lame.
You're no fun.
Anyway, but you play as a bunch of your different Jedi. You go and you basically play through episode 1 and all these different missions and all these different planets. And it basically the whole thing ends off with fighting Darth Maul. And you play through that battle we were talking about earlier. But you can play through as Mace Windu and like Plo Koon if you really want. All the different Jedi have their strengths and weaknesses. Like, for example, Qui-Gon's, he's kind of middle of the road.
He has a certain set of skills.
He has a certain set of skills. I love the Brandon clipped that in last episode. That was so much fun. This is our second mentioning of Liam Neeson on this podcast.
And also the Luigi's Mansion thing was great too.
Yeah, that was good. Brandon's such a professional. Thanks,
knows.
Brandon.
He knows
We
everything.
appreciate you. We appreciate you, good sir. But like Qui-Gon's kind of middle of the road. Like he's really good with Force and he's pretty good with lightsaber.
But he's not good with women.
or like staying alive in the movies.
Yeah, man. He should have stayed alive for all of them. Anyways, yeah.
That would have been cool. But and then like you have Mace Windu and Plo Koon who are like kind of slower, but they're really powerful. And then you have Obi-Wan and the other chick whose name is totally escaping me, who are really quick and skillful, but like, you know, they're not as powerful as the other two, which makes sense. You have a bunch of different upgrades you can get for your lightsabers. You have health upgrades. There's literal, like you have lives and stuff too, which is interesting, and you share lives.
Okay.
So if you're playing through the game with your buddy and like they keep messing up, you get like it gets really intense because it is a really hard game once you get to like I think level 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It gets really intense, and there's a lot of like platforming aspects to the game too. It's basically like a hack and slash platformer, which is really, really cool.
With RPG aspect?
Actually, not really. Like, there's not really any like upgrading you can do per se.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit, but not enough that I classify it as an RPG. I guess
Classified as a Legend of Zelda game.
no.
Why not?
I mean, I guess it could be.
No, I'm just joking.
But then there's a lot of there's a few really fun upgraded characters you can get. Like obviously Jar Jar Binks is one, which is kind of stupid, but is what
Yeah.
it is. But then you can also unlock I'm gonna totally draw a blank on his name, but he's the big head dude on the Jedi Council. Kiara Mundi, something like that.
I don't know the Jedi Council names.
Yeah,
sorry.
but he's the dude with the really tall head and he's like super powerful.
Okay.
Which is it's really fun to be him, even though he is really slow. He's like so powerful.
And you can't. Usually, he's not on screen. Like his head's not on screen.
Yeah, it's literally he takes up the entire screen. So you have to back up the camera, back it up. What? No, keep going. I'm as far as I can go. All right, bring him in. Damn it, cut.
I just watched that episode last night.
Yeah. So did I actually. So was the Family Guy. We quote Family Guy here a lot too, guys, in the game. But and then you can also unlock Padme, which is really interesting because she just has her little pistol thing.
She's like, pew, pew. So this is definitely classified as a racing game, right? This is what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Totally not like the next game,
Okay. Good.
which is actually our number 5 game here, which is Episode 1 Racer.
This is definitely a first-person shooter.
Absolutely is a first-person shooter. You go around in your pod racer racing people and shooting them in the face. First
They
person.
agreed they were called podcast racers from now on.
Oh, podcast racer. That's gonna be the meme for this on our Instagram. By the way, it's going to be us pod racing. It's podcast racing. Anyway. So Episode 1 Racer, for those of you who don't know, it's one of my favorite racing games of all time.
It's also one of my favorite racing games. TJ's like, no,
it's
you have
not.
never played.
You've never played this game
Don't
before, Sal.
disrespect.
But
the
if you
game.
played it, you'd enjoy it. Like it's such an enjoyable game. Tons of characters you can be, tons of customizations for your racers.
Okay, all right, sounds a lot like Mario Kart. TJ's just like, you just hate me right now. Do you just hate me? Yep. You still.
I'm just letting him sit with what he just said. I want you to accept the fact as to what you just said.
What? It is like Mario Kart. It is. Whatever. I don't care.
Anyway, you have a bunch of different tracks you can go on. There's a lot of fun characters.
Yeah.
It's basic racing game. Most basic racing games have different tracks and characters and some customization.
Sure, whatever you say.
Sure, it's just like Mario Kart.
It's just like Mario Kart.
But yeah, it's a really great game. There's a lot. There's even like unlockables. Like there's obviously characters you can unlock. You can be a total dick and be Sebulba and like use your little fin things to kill everyone. It's so much fun ramming people in the walls. You can do that, and it's a really fast game. It's a game that as you progress, you have to get way more skillful.
Yeah.
Because when you start off the game, it's pretty straightforward and easy. But as you progress through the game, if your reflexes do not get way better, you will die, and you will die a lot.
You will die.
A lot. Because
If you don't get better at this game, you will die.
like most like racing games, it's like it kind of is what it is. You can kind of BS your way through it, but this one, no, you can't. You have to get better.
So kind of like Mario Kart.
Yeah, kind of like Mario Kart.
Now he's just on the bandwagon because he knows.
I'm just on the bandwagon, whatever, because I know you're going to keep going. You're going to be like, no, man, it's seriously like Mario Kart.
It's just like Mario Kart.
It's like Mario Kart, man. Come on, seriously, man. It's just like Mario Kart.
That's not how I sound.
Whatever, Caz. I'm not saying you sound like that. I'm just saying that's how I sound. I think you sound to me when I impersonate you. That's how you sound when I impersonate you.
That's not how I
I
sound.
don't actually have an impression of you. I should really try one, though.
No, you can't.
Uh-huh.
What's the next game? We're gonna go over our hours, and then we're gonna go to overtime. Overtime,
As we usually do here on Two Guys in a Game. But yeah, Episode 1 Racer, great game. Definitely check it out. Our next game here, number 4, is Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Quick thing about this game, basically you play as a Jedi outcast, go figure, who basically is a mercenary.
Okay.
He's been in a couple other Star Wars games before. His name's Kyle, and he's basically a mercenary Jedi.
Okay.
And in this game, he does a lot of kind of odd jobs for the Republic. And as you go, you find this really awesome story. He gets joined by a couple really cool partners, one of which is Lando Calrissian, and it's actually voiced by the original actor.
Oh.
Which is really fun. And he's hilarious in the game. He's just like, but he's a badass.
Mm-hmm.
You don't realize how much of a badass Lando Calrissian is until this game.
But he's basically like the Han Solo. Like he's like a Han Solo.
Yeah,
type,
he's that same
know?
principle.
Yeah.
He's like this badass, like freedom
He's like,
fighter type.
I
dude.
want the Millennium Falcon back, Han Solo, and Han Solo's like, no. That's the end.
That's the end of the game. Da, 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 da. Anyway, but in this game, it's basically kind of like a third-person, first-person shooter. Mostly first person.
Is there any racing in it?
I want to say yes. I want to say there's swoop bike racing, but I could be wrong.
Too
on
bad.
that.
I was gonna say it. Then we can't classify it as a racing game.
No, but
oh well.
we will anyway because that's just what we do here on Two Guys in a Game. It's totally a racing game.
It's classified as a side scroller.
Side scroller racing game, which I don't know if those exist, but they do now.
Side scroller racing would be so pointless because you'd be like, oh, I can't get past him. Ah, dude, wait, but they have those. They have two-dimensional racing games.
Yeah,
They
but
just don't
not
have
side-scrolling ones where like the level stops eventually. Like you can't go past the person in front of
You
you.
can't find the finish line because it's in 3 dimensions.
I would actually be. I want to see if anyone's listening and they know of a side-scrolling racing game. Please let us know because I don't know of it.
Two-dimensional side-scrolling. It has to be two-dimensional.
Excuse me, yes,
It can't be like
two-dimensional.
Excite-a-Bike or whatever where it's got like that. Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah. So you basically like you start off the game as like strictly a mercenary guy, first person shooter, and then as the game progresses, you get back to the Force and the Jedi and Luke and blah 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 blah. There's all this cool stuff that happens. I'm not going to go into the story, but this was a game that really hit me when I was younger, and I really really enjoyed playing it. I played the crap out of this game. It's one that I really want to find again. It's on my list of games I need to find.
And it gets 2 lightsabers up.
2 thumbs, 2 lightsabers. We're having a lightsaber battle with our thumbs. Anyway, but yeah, it's a really great game. And it's funny because the ad for this game, because I used to get Star Wars Magazine, That's how much of a nerd I was.
Yeah.
And in this one article, on the back of the magazine on this article, there was this picture of this guy who looked like Kyle, but it was like a real life ad for it. And it was this guy just dragging his lightsaber into a wall, and it was him dragging it across a bunch of like consoles.
Oh.
Like on like the Death Star or something. He's just dragging it across carelessly as hell, and it's just destroying the wall, right?
That's crazy.
And he just has this look on his face where he's just kind of like, oh, did I do that? Like kind of like he's just like, oh, did I do that?
Jedi Outcast 2. He destroys stuff.
Because he's an outcast. And I was like, man, what like normal Jedi wouldn't do that because they're very reserved and like, but he's just careless. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
He's just like at the end of his rope, like,
I'm such an outcast and I just don't care anymore because he falls out of the Force and everything, right? All this stuff happens, but it was just I just remember that ad and I've never been able to find it again anywhere online. I found like the in-game version of it where he does like the symbol for the game, and it's still kind of funny, but it's not quite as cool. But yeah, definitely, it's a really awesome game.
An issue of this Star Wars magazine.
Yeah, I feel like I still have them all somewhere. I just don't know where they are. Okay. But the next game that we have on my list here is a game I actually talked about earlier on the number 3 spot, and that is Shadows of the Empire for the N64, going way back. This is definitely the oldest game on the list.
Yep. This is where polygons were still a thing, folks.
Oh, yeah. Full on still a thing. And
Stormtroopers didn't look like Stormtroopers. They looked like Lego blocky guys.
they were actually pretty circular.
Oh. Okay, then.
But like as far as
you and I are on two different wavelengths.
Cazador Jones. I felt like one of these days we just have to do a podcast or we just quote Star Wars. We quote Family Guy back and forth.
We can quote Star Wars like. Guess what? Guess what that's from? Guess what that's from?
That's not from Lightsaber Battle.
No. But what episode?
Episode 3.
No, never episode 3. Okay, here I'll do one from episode 3. High ground.
Anakin, I have the high ground.
All right, so
I thought that's all that movie's become.
Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, basically you play as a mercenary type guy. His name's Dash Rendar.
Dash Rendar.
And he's just this badass guy with his pistol, and he kills all these stuff.
That kills all these stuff.
Totally messing me up.
I'm just trying to have fun.
Which we always have fun here at Two Guys in the
Okay,
Game.
I'll let you talk.
But Shadows of the Empire, basically, you play through this unique story, which kind of takes place between like episodes like 5 and 6, or slightly after, somewhere in that ballpark. Okay. So you see like Luke and Han and all those characters, and it's really fun. It's a third-person shooter, and it's an old school third-person shooter. So I mean, like, it doesn't hold up very well in mechanics as far as modern third-person shooters.
Especially on the N64. I mean, first-person shooters just were really hard on the N64.
Yeah, it really was, with having that one joystick and having to use R to like aim. But it's still great. His pistol is like it's Han's gun, same the DL4, whatever it is.
Okay.
And like you can shoot a bunch, but it has a power. So instead of having to use ammo or having it overheat, you just keep shooting, and then it goes from 100% down, and then it boots back up.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you also have upgrades you can get, like tons of different types of guns you can use. You get a jetpack eventually. You fight a bunch of these bounty hunters, which is really cool. You have an encounter with Boba Fett that's really awesome. But it's a really great
game. Is it a romantic encounter?
No, unfortunately
I can see it in your eyes. Lionel, who hurt you?
Who hurt you, Lionel? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? But yeah, it's an awesome game. Definitely one that if you guys have never checked out, I implore you to go check it out because it is a very awesome game, and a very awesome story. I implore you. So the next game we have here, getting ready to round down the list here with number 2, is one that I have talked about here before on this podcast, and that is a Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. Real quick one here. It's a vehicle. It's a flying vehicle combat game. Pretty straightforward.
You can fly Boba Fett's ship in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You play as the leader of Rogue Squadron, who is kind of they're the Rogue Squadron. They are basically the hit squad for the rebellion. Tons of different missions, some of them stemming from the movie, some of them not. Mostly it's unique stories. You play as Luke, you play as Wedge. What I loved about this game, because the first one's amazing and I love that one. I almost picked this one for this list. But what I preferred about Rogue Leader 2 is there's way more ships. the graphics are such an update that you really feel like you're in the movie.
Yep. And you've said that before. The controls are like
it's so much smoother. It's so much smoother, and it's everything that the first game was and more. Mm-hmm. And then obviously adding the ships, you have the really cool battles like say Return of the Jedi, that space battle. Mm-hmm. Why is he like this? What's wrong with him?
Gumble to Gumble.
Hodder to Caz. Caz to Caz. I don't know. Anyway.
Whatever.
But yeah, Rogue Leader, it's really awesome.
Yeah. I actually have seen some footage on it now since we did our thing, and it looks like a game I would want to play.
It is really good. And fun fact, Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike, which is another one that's really awesome, has a 2-player campaign of that game. Oh. So we may need to
so you're
do
like,
that at some point.
suddenly life has new meaning to me. There's beauty up above. And that's all the words I know to the song. That's
Suddenly
when you realize you're in love. Okay.
I'm taking you home with me. So that's Rogue Leader. Now we come to our number one game, which I think at this point most people can probably guess what it is. We're not done yet.
It's our number one game.
Oh, we're doing the epic. We're doing the epic lead-in.
I can't go that high.
I'm watching you strain like, oh God. But before we do that, we'll do a quick recap of our list here. At number 10, we had Republic Commando. Number 9, we had Bounty Hunter. Republic Commando. I keep picturing like Qui-Gon Jinn sitting at a table, just going,
all of a sudden
shifty eyes.
He's like, forgot the underwear. I have a certain set of skills, but clearly I don't have a certain set of underpanties.
Then with number 9, we have Bounty Hunter. Number 8, we had Battlefront 2, the original one. Number 7, we had The Force Unleashed. Number 6, we had Jedi Power Battles.
Which was a racing game?
Absolutely. Number 5, we have Episode 1 Racer, which of course was a first-person shooter. Absolutely, first-person shooter. Number 4, we had Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Number 3, we had Shadows of the Empire. Number 2, we had Rogue Squadron 2, Rogue Leader. And now, number one spot here on our top 10 list for two guys in a game. Drum roll, please. Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah. I'm going to get on board with this one. I haven't played it a lot. My brother just bought it. Literally. My little brother, who's just, 13. He's just like, yeah, I want to play Knights of the Old Republic, and it's $5 on here. I'm like, cool. See him start playing it. I'm like, I know this game. And then I was watching him, and he got the vibroblade, and I was like, what the hell is this thing? Sorry, I'm just cutting right into it.
No, dude, go
the
nuts,
vibroblade is my favorite weapon in all of friggin' Star Wars universe, and I don't care what anyone says. That is the coolest weapon ever because it's before you get your lightsaber as a Jedi, and they're just like, here's this sword. What does it do? It vibrates at the frequency of a lightsaber. I'm just like, where the hell's this been for the past 7 episodes? Where has this been? Seriously, they should have normal characters walking around with vibroblades. Like, these are the coolest weapons ever. Like, I thought lightsabers were cool.
It's literally a sword you can use to go against a lightsaber. Like
It's
an actual
amazing.
sword.
It's a metal blade that goes... I'm like, lightsabers are cool. Don't get me wrong. Laser swords are awesome. But you just told me now there's a sword that can fight laser swords? Now I'm hooked. Now I'm in business with you, good sir. I'm in business with you. Like, seriously, that is my favorite thing about that game. The vibroblade. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
This has
For
been
your
on our list.
consideration, the vibroblade.
Vibroblade for president. It's a picture of the Vibroblade. It's like, in Vibroblade we trust.
But yeah, I can't, like, honestly, I just could not get over that. When I saw that sword, and my brother's just like, yeah, he's just walking around with this sword. I'm just like, what is that? He's like, it's Vibroblade. Goes up against a Jedi, or like a Sith, or a Jedi, or whatever, and he's just like, chew, chew, and I'm just like, so they need to introduce this into the Star Wars universe yesterday.
Well, it's interesting because like the story of this takes place like 2,000 years before the actual movies.
That's why it's called Knights of the Old
Republic.
Republic
The old
Commando.
Republic Commando. Forgot my underwear. I did.
Nice and breezy down there it is. Anyways, well, I'll let you tell
But
about
yeah,
the story.
Knights of the
'cause
Old
you know.
Republic. Basically, it's kind of like if you guys are fans of Mass Effect. That's that whole kind of choices and all that kind of stuff kind of started with Knights of the Old Republic. It is you play as your character who's fully customizable. Mm-hmm. You have all these fun characters you get for your party. It's kind of like a somewhat of a turn-based game, but not really. It's like static combat. Okay. Like it's hard to explain. It's real time. It's kind of like Final Fantasy, like some of the new ones where it's like real time, but like you can only move a certain amount.
Okay.
And then like you have different stats that affect your attacks.
So it's like a racing game.
Exactly.
Okay.
I actually think it's more of a puzzle game personally.
It's more of like Bejeweled.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bejeweled
or Bookworm or Scrabble.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
It's the exact same principle.
It's kind of like Trouble, the board game.
Yeah, it's totally a board game. But a really amazing story. I'm not going to talk about the story because I'd be here all day, but a really amazing story, amazing characters, just some amazing character development. One of the biggest plot twists in gaming history. Still to this day, I think this one takes the cake.
I want to hear it. Let's spoil it. Let's go.
Spoil it? Okay, so this is a spoiler alert. If you haven't played this game, huge spoiler alert. It will literally ruin the game for you. You're
listening to the Game Ruining Station.
We almost need like a spoiler alert, like audio graphic, like nah. But I'll leave that to the producer. Spoiler I just totally called you out on doing that, sir. I apologize. I don't mean to add to your workload. But your character, basically you wake up on the ship as like this random passenger on this military ship.
Yep.
Only to find out much later in the game that you used to be this all-powerful dark Sith Lord named Darth Revan. And basically they captured you and like completely wiped your memory.
Why would they do that?
Because the Jedi are assholes. No, because you were so powerful that you were like destroying worlds and stuff. So then they wiped your memory completely clean.
It's not a reason to wipe someone's memory. If I go destroy a world tomorrow, I better be praised for it.
Yeah,
whoa, how did you destroy a world?
I don't know.
I don't
know how I did it, man.
I just walked over this nuclear reactor and typed in a couple of numbers, and boom, world destroyed.
And boom, the world was destroyed. But yeah, it's you find out that you're this like actually this dark Sith Lord, and it's like why? Like it's just this huge. And the way they do it is you're like seeing the Sith Lord do all this crazy stuff, but he has a mask on, or she, and then it pans to the front of them, and it's like they take the mask off, and it's your character, and I was like, what? No, because like eventually your character goes to this place where all the Jedi are, and they pick up the Force really, really quickly and easily, and become really powerful really quick. And they're like, oh, like you've picked up the Force stronger than anybody, because they all know who you are, but they're trying to guide you down the right path.
Oh, okay.
Then obviously, as the game progresses, you can go down the dark path if you really want.
You have to make that choice. It's all about the choices. It's kind of like Fallout, where you can be like a total dick and be like, fuck you. Or you can be the good guy.
You just like, fuck you.
or you can be the good guy where you're always like, don't worry, I'll do everything right. Or then somebody will be like, I need your help. Can you help me? And you're just like, no. And they're just like, well then, guess you're a dick. And you're just like, what'd you just call me?
Please no, I'm a family.
Yeah.
Shouts to episode 3.
Shoutouts to Wii Music.
Shout out to the Wii Music menu. But yeah, it is a great game. If you guys have never played Knights of the Old Republic, I strongly implore you to go check that game out because it is awesome. I think it might be the best. To me, it's the best Star Wars game ever made.
Is it really?
It really is.
I don't believe you. I'm just joking.
Too bad. You're gonna have to.
I don't think any Star Wars game is the best game ever made because it's really hard to make a good Star Wars game.
But this one does it.
But
just don't play the second one.
But does it though? Does it really?
It really does. But it is now time before we wrap up this podcast for the shout-outs.
Shout-outs initiating.
So the shout-out I have to give here is actually to a new iTunes review, which is really exciting, from an uncurable cold who, spoiler alert, that's my buddy Matthew.
Oh.
And he says, and I quote, basically, he was like, yeah, great pod, like it. And thank you so much for that, Matt. I appreciate it. But apparently, we said some mean and hurtful things about a game that he loves, which is why he had to give us a 4.5 instead of a 5.
Wait, a game he loves?
Yes.
What game?
So I hit him up and said, what are you talking about? And he was like, I love Pokemon Go, man. And I guess we kind of trashed Pokemon Go a little bit. He was joking.
Yeah.
He was saying it tongue in cheek, but he was like, I can't give it
Hey,
a full
I still
5-star.
play Pokemon Go like once in a blue moon. You know, I'm not against it.
We're not
I
hating
just-
on it.
It's just, you know.
I think we kind of trashed it a little bit because we were trying to make fun of someone we know who still plays it, but like that's all he plays. Shout out to that person. So yeah, no, but seriously, thank you so much, Matt, for the review, man. Really appreciate it. Matt's a good buddy of mine, and he really enjoys this podcast. So thank you very much for that, man. And then also a couple more shout outs that I want to give to, again, our buddy Josh from Still Loading Podcast. He is a big supporter of the show, so thank you so much for that, man. He's got some really exciting stuff coming up, so be sure to go check him out. Still Loading Pod on all social medias. You can find him on iTunes and all that fun stuff as well. It's Still Loading Pod. Or just search Still Loading on iTunes.
Why do you keep saying still loading and then,
I keep talking?
yeah, like I don't. Does it load? Is that like.
It's still loading, but like it loads eventually, and then
So I heard it's and then, but it loads eventually.
yeah,
Okay.
it's still loading.
I'm really confused.
The pun is dead.
I don't get it. So.
I don't understand how this is working. Anyway, and then I, of course, want to give a shout out to Drinks with Larry because they have been really cool to us, giving us shout outs. And Larry, actually, on social media, he basically every time we release an episode, he talks about what he likes about the episode and agrees with us on some stuff on Twitter. So thank you so much for that, man. They have a really fun show there. And then I want to give a shout out to a new podcast I've started checking out. They do a bunch of comic book and kind of comic book movie reviews and just random nerd talks, and that is Nation of Nerds. So I want to give a shout out to them because I've really been enjoying their podcast, as we are too, fellow nerds. And they have a lot of fun. They have a lot of really good content on that show. It's kind of like a bunch of different reviewers get together and do some stuff.
That's awesome.
I think they're branching into some other stuff now, from what I can recall. So definitely go ahead and show them some support. Nation of Nerds, you can find it everywhere, as well as Drinks with Larry. So those are the shout outs for the week.
Shout out.
Shout outs. That's all I got for this week. That's my shout outs for this week here.
Okay.
But that's going to do it for us here on Two Guys in a Game.
Yeah.
We have a new song here on Two Guys in a Game. Who needs the Wii menu theme song when you have the Wii Sports theme song?
You know, you just discover new theme songs when you have a lot of time on your hands. You're going through a lot of old Nintendo stuff, and you just, yeah. So you know, we've had a good time here today, guys.
We have.
You know, we hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah, I know I did.
I know I did.
This is so fun. We're just dancing. We're literally bopping back and forth.
Yeah,
It's just like an anime opening almost.
yeah. Meow, 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 bark, bark,
Bark now.
yeah.
This is totally like an anime opening.
It's just like, yeah, friendship forever. We have friendship forever. And we'll beat the bad guy. He's in his castle, but we'll get there one day. Yeah. Friendship and stuff.
And gaming
And
podcast.
learning new moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us here today on Two Guys in the Game. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. You know, we appreciate it. We love every single one of you. Be sure to check us out on social media, on the Facebook and on the Instagram under Two Guys in a Game podcast. Also check us out on the Twitter and Two Guys AA Game. As well as, I love how you're still playing it. That's so good. You can check us out on iTunes, however you're listening to this podcast. Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
I've been Hodder,
I'm Caz.
and we'll catch you
This
guys.
is the Wii Sports music theme. Shout out to that.
remix.
All right.
But that's it for us, guys. Thanks so much. We'll catch you on the next episode of Two Guys in a Game.